My humble pranams to all the divine, immortal beings who have joined me today. Thank you so much for joining me. And this past few weeks, we've been talking about subconscious mind and chalice, how important the subconscious mind. And the topic our discussion is: Are you living consciously? Sorry, one word is missing. Are you living consciously? So, to put it simple, conscious living. Okay. So Thorcom and the research shows that 20% of the population, entire population, is only conscious. Only 20% is conscious. The other 80% is not. So that's why they say, a lot of spiritual masters are saying that a lot of chaos that is happening in this world, a lot of misunderstanding, war, everything is happening because people are living according to their subconscious mind. That means they are not thinking properly, they are not analyzing anything, they are not living, they are not doing conscious living. If only we are living consciously, I think 90% of what is happening in this world will not happen. We will have a wonderful golden life, or golden, what do you call, golden yuga. That's what we'll be having, because everyone will be conscious and everyone will be thinking in a right way, in a righteous way, in a beauty. Welcome says beauty, freedom, righteousness, striving, service, and all those things. If we could, if we could live in this manner, the entire world and the entire universe would be beautiful. Okay. So today's topic is going to talk about guilt feelings, self-punishment, and the subconscious mind. So what is guilt feeling? My, my mouse is not working. Just one moment, yeah. Okay, this one I already talked about it. Okay, understanding. Before we talk about guilt feeling, I want to go into self-punishment. Self-punishment is actually arises from guilt, okay, perceived failures, low self-esteem, and unresolved emotional issues. And the self-punishment happens in so many ways. And one of the way that I see constantly that is happening among youngsters is they actually take a blade and hurt themselves, you know. And I've seen a lot of children doing that, a lot of adults, young adults doing that. It's like they are punishing themselves for some kind of failures, some kind perceived failures, not failures, perceived failures, some kind of guilt and all those things. And this need to be treated. If we understand that guilt is actually, if we can clear the guilt, we can stop the self-punishment. So impact on mental health. Persistent self-punishing behavior can lead to negative mental health, and such as anxiety, depression, and isolation. And look at the youngsters around us. 24 hours they are on the phone. Even when they're eating, they're on the phone. Drinking on the phone. And even when they're having a conversation with their friends, they're holding a phone. So they are in their own life, and not only I can't blame the youngsters. Some people are, some, what do you call, adults are doing the same thing also, and nobody is thinking correctly. Why? Because everything, their whole life is actually persuaded or run by the subconscious mind. The moment they realize, and that's why Thorcom says, there's only one thing, if everybody understand what is our sole purpose, you know everyone should ask this question: what is my sole purpose? My sole purpose is to connect with the divinity within me, so the divine being in me, so the immortal soul that is within me. When I do that, and the other one is to live in that divine, what do you call, freedom, beauty, righteousness, dharmic way of life, service, and all those things. If we can live with that kind of divine feelings, and with all the essence, they call it essence, essence that Thorcom says, then the life will be different. Okay. So every time, Tarkan says, every time you are punishing yourself, you are becoming more unconscious. The very act of cutting yourself or doing something for your bodily harm is you are actually uh, destroying your mental health, you are destroying your emotional health, you are destroying your physical body. So, three, remember last week we talked about it. Every act will have this three: mental, spiritual, and physical will be affected. So, what is worse is that those elements that are in your conscious field, such as your ideas, your thoughts, your vision, your expectation, your regrets, and so on, goes into a post hypnotic suggestion. Okay, what is post hypnotic suggestion? Let's say, for example, you are having an argument with somebody, and I say, "I'm going to kill you if you do that," And then every time you have an argument, you say, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you." So that word will go as a post hypnotic suggestion. So one day, if that situation is so bad, the post hypnotic suggestion will prompt you to kill that person. Okay, I hope you all understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah. If you have any question, please stop me and ask me, okay? So, understanding guilt causes, what are the things that is causing guilt in our mind? Okay? Violation of law of conscience. Law of conscience is actually manasachi. If you go against your conscience, then you will have the guilt feeling will happen. Okay, for example, what example can I give you? Um, we know that we are not supposed to kill anybody. So, because of the post hypnotic submission, post hypnotic suggestion that you kill somebody, so that is against your conscience, right? So you will feel guilty. Okay. So there are a lot of situations. If you just analyze the situation that has happened in your throughout your life, you will know. Um, I I had I had guilt when I left my job to take care of the children. I had guilt when I felt that I was not taking care of my mother properly, and I had guilt when I thought that I did not provide well for the children. So all these things are guilt. I had not I'm having I had. So when I understood what is all this about, I managed to clear it. So this is because of your conscience tells you that you're not doing a proper job. Okay. So law of love. So what law of love is a fundamental universal principle by which the universe manifests and evolves. That means love is everything. Everything is based on love. The creation is based on love. The entire universe is based on love. So if you go against this love principle, so then you will have the guilt feeling. Okay. Breaking of civil laws. Civil laws is depending on the country. For example, you are not you are not supposed to go the opposite of a one-way street. You're supposed to wear the helmet. So when you don't do all those things, sometimes some people, yeah, some people don't have guilt. But for me, if I do that, if I go in a one-way street, I will definitely feel guilt. Even if somebody driving that purposely go, and I will stop them from doing it. And if I don't wear helmet and go on the road, I will definitely feel guilt. Okay. So talks about types of guilt. There are so many types of guilt. This is important for you to analyze what has happened in our life. So guilt, it can be when you're a child, you stole something, or even when we don't do our homework, so we feel guilty. And if you lie to our parents, and in a marriage, that if you have an affair, that's a guilt. And then if you do not contribute equally in a marriage, there's a guilt there. And if you don't do take care of your children properly, there's a guilt. Sometimes I feel, if I don't cook for my children, I feel guilt. But now I've stopped doing that. Okay. The guilt feeling is not there anymore because I managed to clear it. So there are a lot of types of guilt. You have to identify what this guilt is about. How do we identify? Okay, before we go that, what are the symptoms of guilt? What the guilt will cause us? The guilt will cause fear, anxiety, and shame. which goes into the subconscious mind and gradually controls the person's thinking, talking, and other actions. Remember, we were talking about 16 elements that will cause guilt, cause the uh, damage the subconscious mind. We talked about fear, anxiety, depression, malice, gossip, a lot of things we discussed, So guilt is one of it. So if we do not clear the guilt, your subconscious mind is going to be affected. When your subconscious mind is affected, you will not be living consciously. Okay? And it becomes self-destructive. Destructive recordings which slowly dominates the person's waking hours as well as his dreams. So guilt will actually, eat up your heart. That's what they say, eat up your heart. மனசாட்சி அப்படியே அரிஞ்சிரும்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, it will really, really affect you so much, and in movies, I think I've seen this in movies where the person is feels so guilty about something, he goes and commits suicide, or he becomes so guilty about something, he doesn't know what he's doing, he just goes walk stand in front of a running car, these kind of things I've seen. So the guilt is that bad, so when this happens, the person will quit their creative work and service and become preoccupied with guilt. So the guilt will not let you evolve as a person, will not let you live as a person, because there's so much thing that is going on in the mind. Okay, methods to overcome guilt. Okay, this one I want you all to listen carefully, yeah, because these are the ways that we can overcome the guilt. When we overcome the guilt, what happens is we are clearing the subconscious mind. What is the benefit of clearing the subconscious mind? So that we can live consciously. What happens when we live consciously? We can tap into our creative mind. So they call it superconscious mind, We can tap into all the beautiful things that we have accumulated in all of our previous lives. We have a beautiful, a pure heart waiting there, pure manners waiting there, pure creative ideas waiting there. A genius, a genius is waiting to be born if we clear everything in the subconscious mind. Okay, how do we clear it? One, compensate those whom they have hurt. For example, let's say that in a fit of a moment in a story, Adam and Eve. Okay, so Adam in a fit of a moment killed Eve. So he's feeling so guilty that he has killed Eve. So what he can do is he can take care of the Eve's family. Just a name only, not the not symbolic Adam and Eve. Okay, so he can take care of the family of the Eve, or he can find someone in a similar situation where they need help. He can give help there. Okay, and then second one is they must see if they are really guilty or if their guilt is a reflection of other people's opinions. Sometimes the situation or the people beside you or with you will make you feel guilty about something that you know that you are not supposed to feel guilty, So for this, you have to think about it. Why am I feeling guilty about it? So is it because of my action that I should feel, or is it because of people's opinion that I should feel guilty? So you got to think about that. Okay. And the other one is third one is they must check whether it's karmic or retributive action. So karmic, how it happens is sometimes karma in a way it's like a beautiful program of the universe, you something happens that you hurt another person. Okay, it's because of the cause and effect. Probably in the previous life, this person, let's say Mary, Mary would have hurt someone, but the retribution come from you. So you are in the design of that program that you are the one who's hurting Mary. So you have to think, okay, why did I hurt her? Is it because there's something that I did, or is it because of karmic retribution? But for this, self introspection is really, really important. You cannot say that, okay, the mother-in-law that I have is because of karmic retribution. Who are you to decide that it's karmic retribution if you do not meditate? So when you meditate, you will understand, okay, this is the karmic distribution. Okay, for example, the life that we go through, And I will take myself as an example, yeah. Myself and my husband. Okay, so it's a karmic retribution. There's because there's something that I would need to learn from him. We are in this marriage together. So from him, I have learned to become a better person. I have become an evolved person. So for that, I'm very, very grateful to him. So, the ability for you to introspect, self introspection, observation, meditation is very, very important before you say it's a karmic distribution. Okay, and the fourth one is, was the action imposed by circumstances and people. Sometimes we are forced to take an action where we hurt someone. So that one also we have to say. For example, you are just you are just driving in one way lane, somebody comes on the opposite and hit you. So it is actually circumstances and the person who caused that kind of thing. So you shouldn't be feeling guilty about it. This I want to share a story. When I was in Penang long ago, I went to temple with my children, and after the temple was beside a major road, So I parked at the roadside, and I have already turned my car and was waiting to go when the sorry, I already turned my car and was waiting for people to pass before I move. So what happened was the other side there was a green light and the car started coming in. So I was waiting for them to go so that the road is clear so that I can move. So what happened was a Chinese fella saw that I've already. He didn't see me turning, but he saw a turned car and he assumed that I'm going to turn, and he moved to the left. Moved to the right. When he moved to the right, there was another guy who came hitting. So what happened was that case that the guy who hit him ran away, and this guy blamed me for his accident. So look at the karma. I think probably because in my previous life I would have done something, so I had to incur that karma. So it became a insurance case, and I had to go to the court and explain what happened. But it was something for me to understand. It's all karmic. Here is karmic retribution. Okay. So the next one is, was the action done to save others or with bad motive? In a situation where something happened, you must think, okay, am I saving this person or is it a bad motive? So it's a lot of thinking that we have to do, so that you don't have that guilt feeling. You don't accumulate the guilt feeling in your life. Okay, and the other one is, were they swayed by current or strong emotional energy of fears, or were they even done in a certain degree of unconsciousness? Sometimes because of fear, we do something, Sometimes, let's say that one guy come and put his his gun on your head. So it is a terrible emotion and a fear is there. And he said, if you do not hit that person, I will shoot you. So what in that situation, what do you do? So I don't know. What will you do? If there will be some kind of act of guilt there. And this one for us to think about it, and see what kind of answer you give, and that answer will decide whether you will carry the guilt or not. Okay. And the last one is, was it a result of the eruption of the subconscious mind or post hypnotic suggestion? This is what I was telling you earlier. Was it a pent up emotion that was in your subconscious mind? Now everything is coming out. Okay. So when these are the situations when you have to analyze everything, So when you analyze everything, observation, self introspection is very, very important. Remember, you cannot blame somebody. Because of him I did this, because of him I did this, because of my mother I became like that, because of my father I became like that. It doesn't work that way. You cannot guilt anybody. Okay, you have to take responsibility about your own life. So if you have guilt in you, you have to clear the guilt. Why am I feeling the guilt? Why am I holding on to this? So you have to do a lot of work on yourself. So analyzing these points will help to overcome your guilt. Okay. So these are the examples. Sorry, the earlier other examples that I gave you. So when you analyze that, we can actually overcome the guilt. Esoteric's work is actually something that we do in spirituality. That means we do self introspection, self analysis. We do a lot of deep thinking. We do meditation. We analyze everything, and we do whenever we read book, we get ideas. Okay, why this is happening? Like you know, whenever you read a passage, sometimes the aha moment comes. Oh, because of this, I'm thinking like that. Or because of this incident, I changed into this person. You will get a lot of ideas. Okay, so what are you supposed to do? Okay, you promise yourself that with the help of God or universal energy, whatever you call it, no, or supreme energy, you will never fall into a similar guilty action. Okay, now we know what are the causes of the guilt. We know how to analyze our guilt feelings. So knowing all those things, and just say, okay, next time whenever this thing happen, I'm aware. When I'm aware, I will not fall into that same pit again. Meditate, strengthen, purify, and transform your mind. Okay, so it's very simple. Meditation, hours of meditation strengthens. Meditation will give you the energy, the clarity, strengthen your belief, strengthen your principle, strengthen your knowledge, open-mindedness, purify your thoughts, purify your actions, purify whatever that need to be purified, and transform your mind. Don't be a close-minded person. Ramta says it's very, very important for us to be open-minded and look at all views. There's not only one view that is the truth. So look at different views. Be open-minded as much as possible. The moment you're open-minded, your brain really works. Electromagnetism, they call it, it really works in your brain. Build a positive, beautiful image of yourself, making it more noble in every way. Just one moment, yeah. I need to drink some water. Thank you for waiting. Okay, build a positive, beautiful image of yourself, making it more noble in every way. So, whatever image, whenever we have guilt, our face will show. So now you know how to clear everything in your subconscious mind and your guilt, and then there will be a beautiful glow on your face also. So you have to build this beautiful image of yourself, okay? And start helping those who are suffering under guilt and bad self-image. This is very important. When you help another person, the entire universe will conspire to help you. Remember that. Develop virtues that are opposite of your vices. If you have a vice that was bad last time, now completely transform yourself in a good mannered person, beautiful person, what do you call lawful person. That means a dharmic person, that kind of thing. Okay, and building an opposing positive image gradually destroy the ugly negative image in your subconscious mind and brings you release. For example, let me give you an example. Let's say when you were young, you stole some money from your mother, or father, or from your brother, whatever, okay? And you carry that guilt, You have so much of guilt in your body, okay? In your emotions. So what you have to do now is you have to, what Gorkam says is, you have to imagine that you are in that particular situation. Let's say it happened somewhere in 1980. Okay, so imagine that you are in that particular situation, a particular person, all the scenario is there. Okay, you, instead of taking money, you're stealing money. What you're doing now is you're taking money from your pocket and giving it to your mother, or some, let's say that you stole from your mother, so you give it to your mother. and see the happiness in the face. So when you do this, what you're doing is you're actually building an opposing positive image that will gradually destroy and all the negative image in your subconscious mind and will bring you release. That's one way of clearing the guilt in your subconscious mind. So remember, what we are learning today is how to understand what is guilt, what are the causes of the guilt, and how we can overcome guilt. And the last one to remember is we have to build an opposing positive image to clear the guilt. So with that, thank you everyone. I hope you all understand. Let me stop.